Good morning, Cassie. Uh-oh, can't hear your audio. Oh, you turned it off. Oh, there we go.
Oof. Pretty bright in here today.
You're having a bad hair day, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just having a bad wake up morning
Oh,
slowly. How are you doing today?
good. I've been awake a lot longer than you have, but that's okay.
Mind you, it is only 9 a.m. over here, okay?
I know. Well, that's yeah, I know.
Time zones, man.
I know.
Uh,
Young kids get us up at 5, 6, 7. I've been going, forever at 9 o'clock.
right? Oh, man.
Sure, you missed
My
those
kids,
days.
I said goodbye to them and like half woke up, but I didn't remember to fully wake up.
It's nice that they're self sufficient. They take themselves out, and then you're like,
No, ages 13 and 12 is just like super simple with that. They just kind of they know what time the car gets here and they look out the window when it's pulling up. They walk down the stairs and go. Yep. And I actually
fancy.
had my watch on so that it vibrated when someone called me this morning. So,
Perfect.
great.
Someone, just anyone.
Anyone. Some mornings I swear.
All right. Well, got a few people hanging out there. Hopefully, they're musicians and care about their revenue streams. So,
Hey, just I'm not a early morning person, you know? I can
yeah,
wake up in the morning. It just takes me a moment.
yeah, it's all good.
But this is enough.
Yeah, I've noticed that like as you get older, you start to get what we call like senior hours, where you like it's great at 4 a.m. when no one's awake and it's super peaceful, versus and then you go to bed like at 8 or 9 at night, and it's been great. I don't know why. But I used to sleep in.
Yeah, nope, sleeping in doesn't work no more.
No,
I mean, I still wake up early ish, depending on how much work I had to get done the night before because we were waiting for stuff from the day before, you know?
that's right. Good stuff.
So,
All those fancy artists we work with.
right. We love the fancy
All
artists.
right. All right. Got people tuning in from YouTube today and a couple people on Twitch. So good morning to everybody from wherever you are. Cassie's on the Pacific coast and we're in Central, Great
All the
Lakes. So it's somewhat in the morning here for all of us. Hopefully it is for you too. It just depends.
Man, everybody has different. I swear, we all just need to have one time of the day,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's just night or day. Everywhere it's 3 o'clock.
I
I
think
don't
we
know.
have to talk to the sun about just being a flashlight versus circular going around the globe, just on,
No,
off.
it can go around the globe, but like we all just need to know that when it's 3 o'clock around the world, but it's either going to be like sunny or dark. It's just the time's not changing, but the sun and the moon are.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know how that would
it's
work for those
stupid.
poor people. And like, hey, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and I am sleeping, or it's or
But
I
that's
don't.
that we told people that when it's PM they're supposed to be sleeping.
This
So
is
you
true.
just take that out and you say the military time, there's no PM or AM. It's just a 24-hour clock to count through the day.
We're just always awake.
So, you know.
Hmm, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything to add to that, but yeah, that's something to think about for a different stream. For a different stream. Luckily, this is the right audience, I think, because normally, musicians don't they sleep during the day anyway, and then they're out doing their thing at night.
See, again, 24-hour clock helps everybody because there's no AM PM and it's just it's a time of the day and that's it.
Yes.
It's okay to be a night owl and daytime person.
Totally.
It's okay to be a morning.
Definitely.
So, okay, I will not distract us. We got our brains thinking now. kicking us into gear,
Yes.
right?
Sweet. Well, we're trying. We're trying. It's Monday morning. It's sad that music and Monday both start with M. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here on a Monday morning.
I don't mind starting Monday mornings. I got work later today, so kickstart me into getting ready early. That's
True.
okay.
True. And you know what? If people take anything away from this, they can implement it on Tuesday and Wednesday and be good by Thursday and Friday shows. So, figured, maybe this is a good time of week. I don't know.
Right? It's a good
So
time
yeah,
of the week. We all
yeah,
kickstart our brain, and people probably, if they do tune in, will giggle at us and our Monday
yes.
Kickstarter.
Well, at some point, we might have to add another M to this and start throwing a game of marbles.
Oh, hey, I can do that
Mm,
real easy.
Marble Tip Mondays. Nothing to do with music, but we're playing with balls, as Cassie would say. Anyway, that's for a different
Sit here
stream.
playing some video games while we're doing this, and just share on my side video games while answering your questions and talking with you. Like,
That might make this way more interesting than just us, looking at the camera. Who wants to tune into this?
so many people, if they only knew. Oh, I'm actually trying to share that story on yours real quick. 1 second.
Sweet. And I did manage to put together, what I think is a decent little summary for the end of this video today, so we can have some good stuff for content later.
So we can get that up. So if anybody misses out anything, they can go ahead and
Totally
join us.
So today, if you're joining us, we're talking about how to make money with music using your existing revenue, the money you already make. This probably is, not super exciting to some degree, but it just kind of gets you thinking differently about the money you already have. The biggest thing is to know, well, what is your income already? Take a pen and paper, say, all right, I'm gonna make a list of my top, not my top, all of my income. So if you got 3 things that are generating income for you, great. If there's 10 things, list them out. If it helps, list them out from order of how much they make. So largest revenue generator to least generator. So, hey, I got my live shows, line 1, merch table, line 2, online merch maybe is a separate one because you have different channels there. Maybe Spotify streams, Apple Music or iTunes sales, Patreon subscriptions. Just go down the list. List them all out. They all should have some type of reporting. You're going to want to go on all the dashboards and make sure that you get even just last month's statements to show, hey, this one made 1,000. Well, 500. I won't shoot too high, and that's why you're here, to learn how to make more money with it. Right?
Yeah.
This one made $10. That's more realistic. This one made 5 cents. That I don't. Definitely list your royalties if you're going to say 5 cents at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And it's good to have this as an inventory, regardless if you're doing this exercise or not. I think it's important to say, all right, what am I doing every month? Start a spreadsheet. And every column is a different month, and then all of your rows are all of your income streams, and keep track of it that way. Basic accounting.
Yep.
It's important. Cassie, anything to add?
Nah, just really making sure you break down everything you just said, because seeing what you have expenses and income coming in 2 separate columns is really easy on the eyes to know where you can remove things.
Yeah.
So having that list is tremendous help, even in any aspect.
Yeah. Both of the income listing and what we'll get into next, the expense listing, are great if you put them either, like Cassie said, on separate sheets, maybe on separate tabs, and then you can compare them on the same document. However, it's also handy to maybe find a budgeting tool, because then you're going to be able to list the income sources on top and then your expenses. Yep. And then if you're familiar with the term zero-based budget, where you basically mean income minus expenses equals 0, you're pretty much spending the money at the beginning of the month on paper, and then making sure that you're tracking that throughout the month, so that you know that if you have a line item, I know I'm getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but if you say one of your expenses is savings or a paycheck for yourself, if you're making enough, factor that in, because then your payroll and your savings are included in the expenses, and then you know that the income you're making can cover your butt, plus it can cover, an actual paycheck. So, but that's again getting a little ahead of things.
Yeah.
Budgeting is a third step to this example.
Yeah. The first step is just getting that list of everything that you have and making sure you gather it. And that can include anything to the music that you purchase. Don't forget that. Like if you have a monthly allowance of music that you put yourself to, and or if you are collabing with people and getting beats with other people, including that, including any of your subscriptions to like Spotify or any of that stuff, and where you do your music research. What else? Oh, you stupid bot. Bye. Oh, they love us. You have not banned those things yet, so I'll fix that for you.
If there's
I
a
love
master
you.
if there's a master list that I have not appended to my, otherwise I've been buying them. Hey, look, even Hanson showed up. That's amazing. That's great.
Well, at least one of our friends, Anna Rar, is not a bot.
No, I know.
She's a sweetheart.
But at least Anna is very friendly and loves our bots too. Those that we.
She's another mod around town. So Anna is a streamer herself. She's a sweetheart. Hi, Anna.
Awesome. Well, I'm hoping that she is finding some value in making some revenue off of Twitch as a streamer. I need to follow her apparently, because I have not, and I feel bad now. When people join us and like I haven't followed you yet, it's I feel
I'll give
bad.
you the quick link. There you go.
Let's do it right now. It's not gonna happen.
Right? You're welcome, Anna. So yeah, first step, that's where we were. Sorry, I was still waking up. I woke up 30 minutes before this. You guys love me. 9 a.m.s. Woohoo!
I got her butt out of bed so that she'd be here.
So after you're done auditing, was the next step,
auditing
right?
income. Yeah, I got a little distracted there. Anyway,
we did get distracted. Let's not let Cassie squirrel off.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna have the same problem. Check can get very distracting when you want to be social, right?
True, and that's all right. We can extend this out a little bit. Like while you're auditing, making sure that you know that like if you're making monthly payments on a bunch of different stuff and writing those lists, put them next to each other in a list, like comparable things. That do you really need all of them? Check that later. But while you're auditing, group them. Like all of your music locations, all of your equipment locations, or things that you have to reoccur, like if you're a guitarist, the guitar strings that you're always replacing, or the picks, or whatever else it is, that in group items, and start seeing if you can place that over in a section where you can do things in bulk.
Yeah. And I think that could work maybe for income and expenses. If there are similar things, you might find that there's an overlap in income, which I don't know if that's considered double dipping. Maybe you'll find some error that people haven't caught before you get screwed over on that, you can be the good Samaritan and reach out first.
Right.
So yeah, I like the idea of grouping for sure. Maybe you come with your own categories. Maybe you're just saying these are general business. Maybe this is marketing. Maybe this is music equipment that I require to do my job.
Hey, DJ Ali. Sorry.
Welcome, DJ Ali. Yes, and I have the chat up now, so I can.
Oh, you remembered it this time?
It was on a different tab here in the platforms. But yeah, and then I guess really to Cassie. Oh, hang on a sec here. There we go.
You're not interrupting. It's okay. I see enough squirrels, Ollie. You know me.
Oh, jeez. My screensaver kicked in there and freaked me out. I can't see anybody.
I
can't see anybody. Somebody come
so
back
grouping.
I am grouping my screensaver in with expenses. And it's a free thing. So another thing then is to we'll start over on the expenses. List them all out. Yeah. Are you like the equipment? If you have any like particular even fees, like you're going to be paying, you're going to have income from Patreon if you have a fan club, but you're also going to be paying the fees that make sure you include that so that those get deducted.
Your
If you,
savings for taxes, if
yes,
you're not
yes.
deduct.
Make sure you're tracking roughly 15%. And I have a whole section of stuff on that for a different video, but and squirrel, yeah, squirrel emote, perfect. Uh, now it just needs your face on the squirrel body, and that would be all set to go.
Right? I should have had her put my face animated in it, like it was a squirrel costume and me going, yeah. I'm sorry. And also branding stuff. Are you ever getting stuff updated for live streams or live events, merch, anything like that? If you have if you have consistent tours, maybe making sure you have that expenses of what you need to save for those tours that you're going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about expenses, it's not limited to, okay, these are my bills every single month. No, look at everything in a whole. What in your music career are your expenses and income?
And maybe those are categories where you could say these are the ones that happen every month, and then these ones are event specific or recording project specific or whatever the case may be. Because you're gonna have the ones that are always there, and then you're gonna have the ones that are project based. And
Yeah.
I think it might be important to maybe that would help people just visualize that there's a difference between those things.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, then ideally, what you're looking to do here is say, okay, well, out of my largest or all of my income streams, can I pick a couple that are really easy that I can squeeze more out of? Can I easily do a campaign that will get more fans on my Patreon and increase my membership count? Can I easily sell more merch because I have new merch coming out? I could do a discount. Can I? It almost will let you define your next few projects or your next few moves, goals that you're setting to squeeze more out of these income streams. Or as you're going to find the recurring stuff every month or the project-based expenses, are there ones that you don't need? Are there overlapping ones? Are you paying twice, or versus are you making twice, double dipping, versus are you paying twice and someone else is double dipping from you? That's even
Right.
worse. um, so
there's also the stuff where we were I mentioned earlier, where can you buy these things in bulk to reduce the cost? Because if we pay one at a time, guys, we're paying more. You really do. I know it seems at the moment only like 50 cents, $1 cheaper than if you buy it one or two, but still think of the over time. That $1 difference over time is going to make a difference in your business, especially in the beginning. When you no longer care about money, then, and you're making it big, it's not going to. But, that's how these guys all make the money they do and keep the money, is because they buy in bulk and they make it last.
That on top of expenses always being less than income, then there's happiness there. Then it's always in the black. That red color really sucks when all of your expenses total you're more than your income.
Yeah.
As a musician, you want to shop at Costco or someplace where you can get like giant bags of vinyl needle heads or all your guitar picks or all your drumsticks. Or that's not gonna happen at Costco, but you know what I'm saying.
I never know what Costco you're at. You never know what you're gonna find there.
Guitar Center and Costco team up to sell you 1,000 drumsticks for $10.
I don't know how many Costcos you have in your area, but we have at least we've got a business Costco in our area that's like strictly just like supposed to be for more like the business side of things, and then we have the regular Costcos. And I probably, from where I am, within a 25-minute drive can go to at least 7 different Costcos.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to have the two. We have east and west, everything on either side of our lakes. So
I just got sad though. They were advertising on my TV Dunkin' Donuts and this really good, or like it looked good, like birthday cake coffee, like cold coffee, iced coffee that was like cake. But I went to go find a Dunkin' Donuts, and apparently they refused to come to Washington.
We don't even have one.
We don't even have a Dunkin' Donuts anywhere, and they're advertising to us. What the
That just means they're generating the demand. Because you know what? Sonic used to do that around here before they put one here. We're like, I want that stuff, but they haven't built one yet.
I mean, we have so many home based in Seattle's. We're such a Starbucks place because they're like on every single corner. It's hard, but we have no Dunkin' Donuts. And I swear they tried back in like early 2000s to come in here because there was one that I remember going to. But yeah, no, Krispy Kremes and Starbucks. Keep it all.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, fast food. Is that a message? No, no, promise. That was just a like, yo, advertisements. I mean,
We're gonna reduce expenses. Make your own food at home. Then your music will make more
yes,
money.
that is another good expense too. Sorry, ADHD. They made me want a dang
It's all good.
cake coffee,
Have
and I
your
can't
cake.
have it.
Don't spend money on cake either.
Bake it at home.
So a couple other ideas too. Like you said, how much more effort would it take to add a few more live performances to your calendar for
Yep.
the year? Can you squeeze more out of the live show tour? Could you spend more time pitching your music to Spotify playlist curators, get or music bloggers? Could you help increase streams and your royalty output? I know, like I said before, royalties are probably going to be the bottom of your income list in terms of amount, but it doesn't hurt to increase that exposure and get those additional royalties spins.
Also, remembering when you guys are getting booked for gigs, think about the expenses you're going to have on that trip before you take the gig.
Mhm.
Are your expenses on the trip going to be more than what they're paying you? Then you're going to go into the red for it. So you need to find another way to either increase what your revenue is by having maybe a new merch release at that venue to try and bring in extra money while you're there, or find a gig that's closer that's going to be less of an expense until you can actually afford that and or get paid more for that event.
Agreed. That brings to mind. We have a coaching client right now. One of our coaches is working with that. I believe she's from Paris, and she is working on a U.S. tour here in July.
Ooh.
And so, getting her branding together, getting all that stuff, the marketing ahead of time, and really then she's got to factor in her travel for those few weeks that she's here, and kind of you almost got to be at all your venues ahead of time and figure out your income expense ratio situation at every place plus the whole trip, and then plus you might be renting a car so she can travel between cities that's a big deal, and it's probably easier when you have a little bit more money in the bank, but if everyone's striving for that with their music careers, that's ultimately what you want to be doing is planning for those big trips and
making sure your bills are taken care of before those trips so that you're not coming back stressed out.
oh yeah come back like
Part of that budgeting is ensuring your bills are taken care of before leaving.
you want to be in worse shape when you get back than when you left.
Exactly.
It's bad enough just traveling with it.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, on that same note, I kind of mentioned earlier, like you could introduce a new merch item, or maybe you want to create a higher cost premium tier on your Patreon, or just get creative. Like what can I do, and what's the shortest route to another revenue stream?
Yep.
And like I like to preach, not like I preached a lot because we're just getting this going, but it's always good to balance out. What we learned during the pandemic is when 90% of people's incomes was live shows, and all of a sudden that's taken away from you, that's a great way to like test a musical recession. And what you want to do to avoid that down the road is, even looking at all these income sources, all these expense items, try and maintain income to each line is roughly about 15, maybe 15-20% max of your total income, because when one goes away, then it's not a total end of the world. It's not another pandemic every 6 months because you lost your main source of income. So,
and just because the world has opened up, guys, doesn't mean that you need to abandon the way you've now created an income source. It means you need to balance with the original sources and the new sources, because we never know if this is going to happen again. And you've now increased your revenue by finding a new source, because every single one of you musicians, especially if you're here watching on Twitch, have at least found one source, meaning live streaming. Live streaming doesn't need to go away just because you're out and about. You can incorporate it into your Patreon, saying For every live show, you can get a free live stream on link if you're part of the Patreon. And then you can watch it from home instead of, having to travel 5,000 miles because you like somebody in, another country, or across the US, you can incorporate many, many different things.
Yep. Agreed. And at the same time, don't allow yourself to only stay on Twitch.
Correct.
I think the opposite of that is, Twitch may not go away, but Twitch may also shrink a little bit because people are going back to things.
Yep.
So we've seen that with some people, and it can be a little nerve-wracking because it has been a busy couple of years and probably a very profitable one for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the moment that you kind of have to start making those strategic changes again, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, they
I have to
do.
think again.
Twitch has its ups and its downs,
Yeah.
especially before pre-season for festivals. It drops because people are spending their money on the real events that are going to happen. When it's warm in a place, then of course they're going to be out and about, less indoors. So like you have to balance that into your books too. Like expect there to be drops. And do
Mhm.
you have a different stream to handle you when those drops happen? Do you have a different stream path of money coming in to help with those drops so
Yep.
that you're not stressed and trying to push extra in a platform that it's not the platform, it's just the fact that it's a low, slow time for us, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah.
And don't hit yourself hard for it when it happens, you guys. It's across the board.
Those Twitch subscriptions are nice, but they're not guaranteed either because everyone's in different financial boats, and if they can support you, great. If they can't, they're not going to be able to. So you can't consider them your sugar mama and daddies out there.
But you can use it for like releases of merch, releases of new music, incorporate that stuff in. Like if you're working on something, get it seen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a community, they'll support you. Like we have a member over in the Team Takedown crew, McTwiz, who releases a few tracks, and the whole team plays his tracks. And like everybody gets super happy that it's a teammate's track that's getting played, So having that as an extra revenue too, because now if you release it properly, like we talked about in a previous segment, then you're getting royalties off of every time your friends are now sharing your music too.
Yeah, it's a great way to if you distribute properly, have it registered properly. I don't know if we've talked about like song trusts and performing rights organizations on here quite yet, probably at a later time. But if everything is taken care of for the royalties properly, you're going to see your friends streaming your songs, and then that's going to add up to some kind of few cents. I realize it's still a few cents, but it's still going to,
Every
generate
few
something.
cents counts in the beginning.
It does. It does. It's always
And it still starts building later on.
It used to buy dollar menu items. Now we're not so sure, but
right? Have you seen these gas prices? Oh. I try not to leave as much as possible. I'm so glad that the tanning salon is literally one exit away from me. It's like a literal 12-minute drive to work. And so like my tank's actually going pretty far between there and my hair.
Does that mean that more musicians are going to have to start, even Ubering themselves to gigs because you don't want to fill up your own tank? Like, how can I load up a minivan Uber driver's stuff with all of my gig gear so that I want to drive myself? And hopefully the Uber is cheaper than actually paying, twice as much for a gas tank right now.
Nah. I mean, depending on if there's free parking or not at the venue. Because now these days, venues don't even really have parking unless it's paid to park because they're all in central downtown where it's all parking lots, so think of that in your expenses when you're trying to go out, guys. And the few drinks that you have, all of it. There's so many different things that we all do it that is going to be. So don't act like it's a question.
Yeah, now these income sources and our expenses are also affected by the wonderful inflation of our country right now.
Yes.
Or, kind of a global inflation, I guess. So it's not just the United States, but.
You adjusted yours and it made me realize that mine's super high up too.
I don't think I should be super short.
You were like cut off at your neck. Oh, one day we'll get it right.
Third here. So today's topic, match chin. All right, cool.
Yep. So
I think we probably covered a few of these, but there's also some examples of reducing costs that I think we may have missed or could reiterate. Merchandise can be costly to produce if you're going to go through a site, even if they're taking most of the expense, or if you're doing it in bulk and you get kind of like the profit roll. So think about like, how can you do it yourself? Can you invest in cheap screen printing stuff, or even at the beginning, sadly, you might want to start with even iron-on stuff, but just get the merch started and figure out how you can generate it yourself and maybe recoup more of the costs and keep your material item costs down for the most part. Then maybe if you have any subscription services, like do you have to subscribe to any of your gear? Are there things that you're not fully taking advantage of right this moment that you could say, I need to stop right now, come back to it later when I'm actually going to use it? Maybe that comes to like marketing platforms or any type of like paid advertising, but any tools that you can live without right now or put on hold. Maybe if you have an email list tool and if you stop paying and maybe it goes into like just kind of a dormant sleep mode, but you don't lose the data, that might be an option. But yeah, just kind of think through maybe each thing on that list. It's like, how can I reduce the expense? What I actually found once was I had an annual subscription to something, and I went back and checked, and in the time that I had subscribed last year, they actually had some new packages, and I only needed, they have multiple different software items, so you could group them together. And I went back and I'm like, I've only used the one. I'm only ever going to use the one, but it's in multiple packages. I found a newer package and I actually cut my cost by $120 a year.
Oh, nice.
And I got to keep the thing. So, I mean, that's wonderful. So always review your subscriptions, because sometimes the company will come up with something new and you're in a legacy thing. And maybe you can still get what you're getting, but for less costs. So
be careful. Don't do what I did though. Like when I bundled like my Hulu and stuff, I tried to get the new bundle because like there was one that was cheaper on Hulu, including to get me the extra package with Disney, and it was cheaper going through Hulu than it was going through Disney Plus. So I had to swap my membership over. So I canceled it on Disney Plus and started it on Hulu, but I tried to start it on the same email and like it kept on erroring back, telling me that I had to have everything done on Disney Plus because that's where it had started. So I had to like start with a new email just to like get the Hulu to start the package over there. And I'm like,
why you identify me by my email? Just let me have this, damn it.
Right? It's like, it's canceled. Can't you see it's canceled? So I can start a new one.
Of course not. Why would they make it easy?
Hulu doesn't want my money, apparently. They want me to give it all to Disney.
Okay. I mean, Walt hasn't been here forever, but he's still making a heck of a lot of money.
I know, right? But, always keep up to date with those packages for things that you use and see, because when they start realizing that people work together with these packages, someone bundles them.
Yeah.
But careful of fraud, because there is some fraud bundles out there. So don't just join any bundle you see. Research them first. But there's so many ways you can cut corners with saving costs, especially with year-long businesses, like paying for your membership on a yearly for things like Spotify instead of monthly, Discord yearly instead of monthly. They cut the costs if you pay it all at once.
2 free months. It's always 2 free months usually. I don't know,
roughly 2 free months, and then you don't have to worry about this reoccurring cost coming out monthly of your account. You just know January 1st every single year or July 1st every single year this is going to be out, so I need to save enough money for then.
So if you ever see Cassie here offering to bundle your Hulu and Disney together, if you give her money, that's probably a shady one.
But bundling costs, as in, a lot of people think they have to outsource work individually.
Yes.
They need to find one person to be their artist, one person to do this, one person to find them this. No, you guys, you should first do it. Cut the costs there first. Learn how you like it done in your own industry, in your own music, and then find somebody that vibes with you that can help you in more than one aspect. Somebody that can actually help you make this merch together with you. So, because maybe you aren't an artist, you don't know how to computer animate something onto your first few merches, and you do need an artist. Okay, make sure that artist is able to do everything you're going to need in an art, not just this one job.
Yeah.
Make sure they're going to be able to help you with multiple different things down the road, so you can continue to work with this person, and maybe they can help you with a few other things, you know, with their social media or your streaming and things like that. Find one person. Stop spreading this out to multiple different people, spending money here and there on Fiverr for fake logos that aren't even like real because they're just photoshopping other people's stuff together.
What? That's a thing?
Get it right the first time. Don't take 6 times getting a fake thing.
This is a garbage in, garbage out situation.
Oh,
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and not to say that it's always the most ideal situation, but like if you're creating your own thing and you've got a brand out there and that's what you like and you want people to help you with that design, now usually it's like one in 100 chance that someone's going to say, hey, I like your designs and I do these kind of things. They'll reach out to you and maybe offer services. A lot of those are spam, of course, but sometimes that does happen. Otherwise, at least you have a portfolio of what you've made that you can now share with whoever you might have through another connection, or you know somebody and this person, their grandmother's brother's uncle's godfather does the same design that you're doing, and I'm not going to follow that family tree because it's going to be ugly. but yeah, you never know when these people are going to show up or how they're going to come about and what opportunities are going to be available at that time. But yeah, as much as possible, really reducing costs comes down to doing it yourself for the longest haul until your income is enough to where you can say, I can keep a paycheck and I can still pay for help.
And then you find a place that does stuff like Stream Tribe Records and, bundles it all together and coaches you and helps you learn how to do the social media, increase everything, and get your brand out there the right way, plus taking on tasks that you need. I did totally shameless plug for you. Plug it anytime, baby. Plug it anytime.
I'm like, that was brilliant, but I'm like, I can't take credit for that. I did not feed her any lines for that one.
One-stop shop for it all,
Sorry. All the links will be in the video at the end of this show.
Oh, yeah. Is this where we're supposed to say $99 only today? Oh, yeah. No.
Call now in the next 15 minutes and get this off. Maybe you'll get a free wheelchair or back massage or whatever else they offer at infomercials.
No, but you might get a side dish of me. Oh.
Nice.
So it's very smart to bundle, you guys.
Yeah.
Keep things minimized.
Yes.
That overall cost being reduced with as much of this as you can and doing as much as you can by yourself until I understand there's some people that are extremely busy, have a first-time job, and this is only their their part-time gig or hobby. And they want help with their branding and all of this because they already have a primary source of income that's taking care of their expenses. And they've already balanced their books. They're in the black. They're happy in their life. They're now spending some of that on a hobby. So they're more likely to instantly get someone like us to help. But those people there are starting this and this is their career, no second job. It's best to build and learn. And reduce those costs on having other people do stuff as long as you can until when those blacks start happening, you can reduce a little black to add a little piece if you want, but make sure you're still maintaining enough to live.
And this actually ties in with one of our last segments too, regarding, is it too soon to have a band manager? That is an expense. That is an expense. That gets into like contractor and or payroll level stuff. So consider your team also an expense. Is it too early to have somebody? Do you already have them? Do you have to reduce their hours? Do you unfortunately, these things do happen, depending on the situation. I mean, it's like I would love to keep you on. I want you to, but not at the expense of the whole business completely collapsing. So remember to take care of the entity. It's gotta go up.
Yeah, because even any brand manager you try and get, they're going to look at you and say, "Have you balanced your expenses and what do you have going on right now?"
Yeah.
They're not going to want to be out here taking all of your money and keeping you stressed out. They're not going to become your brand manager if that's all they're going to be doing is wasting every dime that you have.
Yeah.
Unless they're greedy, and then you don't want them. I'm sorry, then they're out for themselves, because nobody that is actually worth anything just comes for you to take every single dime that you have. They're here to help you build if they're a proper manager.
Shameless plug, we're not greedy.
Shameless plug, we're not greedy.
I think that is the worst marketing pitch I've ever given. I'm not going to even bother. I'm going to cut that out of this live video.
You are? Total.
There's no way. The rest of this conversation will make sense if I do.
True.
But yeah, it is important to consider someone who, and really band managers, the right ones, are going to, thank you, Anna, for the support. The band managers that really matter and that are worth having are going to be the ones that are going to vet you as well. Say, like, they don't want to work harder than you're working. They don't want to work with you if you have a personality problem. As we said in the last segment, if you're an asshole, they're going to write you off immediately. But remember, for the most part, these business relationships will be fairly genuine and stable if it's the right person. It doesn't have to be shady. And they will say, I'm not a good fit if your income and expense situation is not ideal, because they're not going to be able to help you long term. You're not going to be able to afford them long term. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself before you bring somebody else on. So people, gear, whatever else, your merch, material, time and materials, whatever the case is, an expense is an expense. So it's a lot to get out, trying to come up with that. Whew, choking on that one. Income is always going to be the more fun half of this conversation. Like, I want to see how much I'm making and make all the giant numbers that you get to see come into your bank account. The expense list is way more depressing because, of course, they're leaving your bank account. So always make sure that those are higher than what's going out.
And don't add more until it balances out.
That's right.
Step by step, we're moving forward, little by little. You take ground. It was a song for a reason, you guys.
Indeed.
We don't need to take giant leaps.
Do we need to put a link to the song and the lyrics on YouTube and to the video?
Nah, we good there. I'll just plug random shit all day long,
Wait. And now for the real shameless plug. If any of this stuff is daunting, scary, fuzzy, don't hesitate to reach out to us too. I mean, we do these videos to help you on the free end, but of course we're also here to help you, coach you through it, accountability, guidance. Music shouldn't have to be done alone. If it's done alone, it's no fun, and you want it to be fun. It's not just, hey, I'm a solo artist, so everything is done solo. That's not the case. Music is so networking related. It's a people business. All who you know, all who you trust, all who you work with, and your team is going to make you look like the rock star that you want to be. Even if you aren't one yet, you want to be. Or if you already are, then the rock star that you are. So.
Yep. 100%.
So yeah, I guess at this point, I would say really to wrap things up, the biggest things, and I'm going to flag Cassie so she knows to grab the clip. Am I waiting for a clip?
Yep, I'm listening.
Okay. So I'd say the biggest takeaways from today for all of you out there is to really look at your income, list it out, make it really easy to read. Just a single list. If it's a spreadsheet, great. If you keep track of it every month, great. However you do it is fine. Then evaluate how you can potentially maximize that, make more, which ones are low hanging fruit, which ones can you squeeze more out of. Do the exact same with expenses. List them out next to it, another tab, another spreadsheet, however you want to do it, and add both of these columns up. And that's just basic math, of course. You want income minus expenses to still have a positive number, or zero. Like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of zero-based budgets. So make sure you count for everything. Even if your savings and your own paycheck are included as expenses, then that way you factor yourself in and take care of yourself. Make yourself an expense. Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of times people will forget to pay themselves because the expenses end up just eating everything, or they're just saving up for the sake of saving up because you don't know what's coming down the road. So yeah, I guess income list, expense list, and then do what you can to increase the income and shrink the expenses. So that's the big takeaway today.
Yep. I'd agree there. Trying to publish the clip while you're talking. So
sorry, I got a little wordy for a clip. I was like,
I know.
Yeah, shut
Yeah,
up.
I got the most of it, It only gives me about 44 seconds. If I try and make the clip longer, it like errors out. It's really weird.
And last time I didn't talk long enough. So, I have to set a timer when I do this.
You talked long enough. You can keep looping at the end. It's okay. I know where you start looping, and that's when I start clipping. And
wow, my head loops really well too. Today's tweet from this episode: my head loops as well as this clip.
I love it. No, we were floating heads earlier, remember?
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Do we need to end the same way? Just floating head?
Floating head doctor. You Scrub fan? No. Okay. Anyway, if you guys do want to read a little bit more, or at least get a recap on today, I am posting a link to. Oh, well, thank you, Anna, for thinking that we're fun. We don't think we're fun. We think we're ridiculous. So,
pickle this guy.
I can't wait to get off stream. This is ridiculous. So I just posted a link in the chat. That is the companion blog for today's video. I also got a free resource in there regarding career coaching and how we can help you with that. Again, yeah, we're always here for helping you beyond this video. Income expenses may be easy for some people, may not be as easy for others. Sometimes it helps to partner up and be a buddy. Yeah, I'm good. Cassie, got any few notes left, or are you good to go?
Well, if you've got any questions, you can always contact us through the link tree and the socials, through Stream Tribe Live right there, and or any of our fun friends. And don't forget, we have some fabulous fun coming up this week with a few of our artists, including the Thursday is for Trance, and then Wednesday Simul's Takeover right here. And then also this weekend, we have a few of our artists coming together for Sci Life. The Psy Trance raid train that Psywens helps put on, and Simul's going to be on it also this weekend. So, and then Kemi's got the amazing new sponsorship going on, or ambassadorship going on for this 30 days for her new mic. So many fun things with the artists that we already have. So keep up to date with all of our socials, and we'll see you around those waiting pools.
Yeah, so I feel obligated that working with Kemi, her sponsorships this month is through Mackie, and while I don't actually own any Mackie gear, I know that Mackie is a great brand, and I will shamelessly plug them as well to help out her situation. So
yes, give some love to her. And she also had a post, and we sent out her email sending out the place to get it to support her too, so they can see that ambassador. So if you got an email from her letting you know what her schedule is, make sure you click that Mackie link.
Totally. All right. Well, thanks again for another great week, and hope to see you guys back next Monday for another fun tip. And we will be getting those out in emails ahead of time. So if you want to, you can visit turnup211.com or streamtribe.live, and you can sign up for our email list, and we will be hitting you up that way. So you can remember that we'll be here next week.
Yes, indeed. We'll always be here. And next week, I'll actually be awake on time instead of 30 minutes before set with caffeine. I haven't had caffeine yet today, you guys.
Whoa, she is doing phenomenal on the sober side here. I can see the toothpicks holding your eyes open. It's amazing. Okay, creepy. Ouch. All right. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next week. We will have
we should probably find a raid, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's why I have you here. I almost forget about the rating.
I know you do.
It's so sad. Yeah, we will have this video posted later today on YouTube and Twitch for a recap. Yeah, I will let Cassie raid, and we will catch you guys next week.
I think I'll send us on over to our Ice Theo. He's on right now.
Cool.
Ice Theo. You guys will really love him. He's one of our friends' music. My keyboard's all sticky right now. And amazing, amazing, amazing.
Should I ask why you're...
What?
Why is your keyboard all sticky?
I accidentally got some white on it, so I'm like cleaning it off, but like some of it got in the springs and shit.
Gotcha.
So I've got to clean it again.
Safe.
I didn't get it all the way. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Anna Rar. See you next time.
I hope we were beneficial for you. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Bye, guys. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Until next time. See you on the other side. Have you ended broadcast on this side? And don't forget to type raid.
I saw you did that.
No, in StreamYards. StreamYards keeps broadcasting.
Oh, I know. That I know.